Okay, Ann, and we're back. It's been about 6 hours. I hadn't planned on it being that long, but I ended up getting pizza, and I met your mom and Mary at the nursing place, and we had dinner with your mom with some pizza, some White Castle, and had a really nice time. Your mom actually had a couple of pieces of pizza. Okay, let me explain what I'm doing here. This is the dough that was in the refrigerator that we made this afternoon and this morning. So I cut a small piece off here, as you can see. Okay, you don't have to cut a big piece off. That's probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3 inches by 1.5 inches. Not important. Now we wrap this back up. This is important. You can either leave it out here and put a towel over it. I put it back in the refrigerator. Okay, so that goes back in the refrigerator, and we're going to work on this one. Now there are 3 ways. And by the way, I do this a very basic way. I use my hands. I have never used a rolling pin, or at least I haven't used a rolling pin in years. I think I get a better feel for the dough this way. So basically I just push down and separate my fingers just a little bit. Oh, and I also sprinkled a little bit of flour here. Now you don't want a lot, just enough that the dough doesn't stick, okay? Now, there's 3 ways to do this. The first way I would not demonstrate because it's highly inconsistent, and you come up with noodles that are too thin, too thick, and just a mess. And then, of course, you're using a rolling pin, and then you're either cutting them with this, my bench scraper, or a pizza roller or something like that. The other way is to use the hand crank that I believe Mary got you a year or 2 ago. I was going to show you how to do that one, but we don't have it. I can't seem to find it. So the other way we make them is with our KitchenAid mixer with the noodle, the pasta attachment. I never plug in anything until I'm ready to use it because I don't trust myself. So anyway, so if you're going to use one of these or the hand maker or the hand roller, it's the same exact thing, okay? You put it on the highest setting, which is going to be number 1. And once again, you judge with how thick this is, and as you get better, you're going to start at a lower number or a higher number, a thinner number. Now, I've never been very good at this deal where, you know, the noodles all come out the same size. So if you're looking for that, you're looking in the wrong place. So I rolled them over just to see, or I folded it over just to see if I could do it, so I could demonstrate. And like I said, I find this way to be better than the rolling pin, but if you like the rolling pin better, you do whichever way works for you. We'll put it in again. Once again, it's at the highest setting, and there's plenty of flour on here, so it's going to run through. Now, I generally run it through twice at each setting. Now, that was setting number 1. I'm going to lower it to number 2, and I'm going to lower it to number 2. And after a while, you're going to get a feeling for whether this is going to be too long, not long enough. And at that point in time, or at some point in time, once you're comfortable with it, you can just cut the piece and go along your way. And I may have to cut this piece depending on what I feel like. And once again, it's all about what you think and the size of the noodles you want. Now, right now, I'm going to number 4, which is you know, fairly thin, but remember, after you cook these noodles, or as you're cooking them, they're going to swell with all the chicken broth. So you want to get them fairly thin, and if you try to do this right after you make them, they're never going to be able to get pressed this thin, because they're going to tear them. Okay, so now here I'm just going to drag it through there one time, and I'm going to put it on 5. Normally 5 is the thinnest I get, and then I cut it, okay? And also, if you have somebody helping you with this really, really goes by a heck of a lot faster. So if you're going to recruit Jeff, you know, to help you if one of the kids are home from school or work, or you trick them and get them to come over to the house, makes your job way easier. So this one, in my opinion, is a little bit on the long side. Okay? So I have one of 2 choices. I can either leave it that long, or I can cut it in half and have much smaller noodles. So because of the meal we're having, the noodles and chicken broth, I'm going to cut it in half. Now what I do here is I simply take this off. I put this one on. This is going to be the, as you can see, this is going to be the noodle cutter. There is no such thing as a There's no gauge on this one, so it's just going to be what it is. And once again, when you cut this, it's going to pull apart on both sides slightly. And now you just gently pick this up. I like to do the pointy end first. And the faster you go, the easier it's going to cut. It's not going to jam. So I usually go, if you have one of these, let's say I'm going to go on 2. So there you go. So then you put your one hand here, and let it guide in, and here we have some noodles. Look at that. So now, basically, we're ready to go. So the next one goes in, and you have more noodles. Now what you're going to do, you're going to take these, and on the other side of the table, I have another setup just like this with flour, and I'm going to separate each of these. Just to give you an idea, I'm going to try to put them far enough apart from each other to where they can dry. So this is basically the size of noodles that you want. Or put it this way, it's the size of noodles that I got, and I'm perfectly happy with them because after you dry them and you put them in the bag, there's going to be a lot of breakage anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. So you're just going to separate them, put them up. Now once again, if you have help, while you're doing this or while Jeff's doing this, the other person can do all this. So, oh, by the way, I just want to mention this apron that I'm wearing. This is one of my dad's old How Towing service shirts. And after he passed away, my mom took a whole bunch of them and turned them into aprons for all the kids. So anyway, that's, if you're wondering what that is, that's what that is. Anyway, Ann, I hope this helped you. Once again, if you're using a hand crank, the hand crank works the exact same way. Make sure you get the noodles here, smashed down to fairly thin. Make sure you let them sit for a few hours. These happen to sit for about 5.5 or 6, but they don't have to sit that long. Usually an hour is plenty. So anyway, that's my little helpful hints for you. I hope that works for you. Good luck making the noodles, and we'll see when we see you. Take care and tell Jeff and the kids we all said hello.